Adding late summer flowering plants to your beds and borders is the secret to having a garden that's as colourful as possible for as long as possible. Here are 5 that I'm adding to my garden this year. So what is a late summer flowerer? Well, it may sound obvious really. It's any flower really which starts blooming sometime in July and will run on right the way through to September, October, and sometimes the first frosts in November. And late summer is a particularly important time. School holidays, and yes, you'll go away for a week or 2, but then you come back and there's nothing much to look at in your garden unless you major on the beauties I'm about to show you now. At number 5, Crocosmia. Some of them start flowering in early July, others come later on in the summer. But choose a range of them like this one, Harlequin, which has flowers of rich, deep tangerine and a much lighter orange, hence Harlequin. It's 2 different colours. And you can make sure that your Crocosmias will flower right the way through the summer. They're easy to grow, they love a warm, hot, sunny spot, they last for ages, and when they do start to get overcrowded, you can dig them up and divide them. At number 4 is this, Echinacea. Now you may associate Echinacea with medicinal properties, and it has many, but for me, it does me a power of good when I see it in my borders, particularly this one, which is called Delicious Candy. These flowers, they're almost luminous. It's a reasonable height too, without being too tall and floppy. So this one, which comes in something just under 2 feet high, absolutely delicious. The central boss in the flower here is really quite hard, and these lovely ray petals around it just set it off. And this will flower from July right the way through to September and October. You'll enjoy it hugely, even longer if the weather's mild and sunny. You can leave these until they really fade. They last a long time as individuals, but then snip them off and you'll find that lower down there are other flowers just waiting to take over. And this one isn't going to be out for weeks yet, so you can tell just how long it's going to go on. At number 3, Sedum, the ice plant. Sedums are referred to as the ice plant because if you feel their thick, fleshy, succulent leaves, they seem so much colder than the foliage of other plants around them, almost icy cold. So it's ironic that this particular variety of sedum is called hot stuff. I know it looks particularly cool at the moment, but when these flowers open, they go a really rich shade of pink. There are others that are really dark, almost dusky mauve, and some with purple leaves. The other beauty about this, apart from the fact that it's really drought tolerant and can cope with dry soil, is that once these flowers open and the nectar appears, butterflies and bees absolutely love them. So when your midsummer flowers are but a memory, here comes the sedum to give you late summer glory. These are all flowers I'm going to add to my garden, but already I have several that are real stonkers and nicely established, so they're giving me a fabulous display. The first of these is the Japanese anemone. You can get these lovely open flowers with a golden boss of stamens in the middle in pink, dark mauve or white. They're absolutely lovely. They start flowering round about July. They carry right the way on through until October, November. Then comes the Russian sage, Perovskia. These enormous spires of lavender blue start coming out in July, and they again last right the way through to the summer. Another plant that's very happy in full sun and well-drained soil, and which needs little fuss and care. Well, that's enough about me and my garden. What about you and your garden? What's coming next at number 2? Which will it be? This one. The red hot poker, or in this case, salmon pink. The red hot poker's botanical name is Kniphofia, beginning with a K. Kniphofia was the man it was named after. Some of them flower early in the summer. This one is a good later bloomer, and you can see this display, which is going to last for weeks, by the youngsters coming up below. This is Papaya Popsicle. Look at those flowers. You can see they start opening at the bottom. These have faded, these ones right down here. Then are the ones that are open. Then are the ones that are going to open in a while. So you get several weeks worth on each individual flower, and then this whole host of blooms coming up from below. But this is always a good thing to do when you're buying a plant. Look not just at what's out now, but what's to come. You can see it grows to be about 1 metre high, and for sort of 3 or 4 feet back in your bed or border, it's an absolute corker. Before we get to number 1, 3 plants that are great late summer bloomers, which I've been forced to leave out reluctantly, but still great for your August-September border. Daisies are particularly good at this time of year, particularly this one, short and sassy, it's called, this one. A lot of Helleniums are much taller, but they all have this habit of the petals falling away from the boss of stamens. Some of them yellow, but predominantly at this time of year, mahogany coloured, deep and dusky oranges. The next one is another daisy, and you can see the difference in the petal formation here. This is Rudbeckia. Starry flowers here with bright yellow petals, and then this almost black central boss in the middle there. And I've snuck in a shrub because they're so good at the end of summer, and that's this one. It's a type of hydrangea, not the normal mop head, but this is hydrangea paniculata, because its flowers are carried in what are known as panicles. That's the arrangement of these flowers. Here, they're lime green in the bud, but when this opens, these are going to be white. And finally, at number 1 in my list of favourite late summer flowers, well, it has to be the Dahlia. Dahlias were out of fashion for years. They were thought to be vulgar. Heaven knows who buy, because I've always loved them. They grow from a tuber, and you plant it in spring, in your beds and borders, up it comes, and flowers like this from mid-summer right the way through to the frosts of November. This particular flower form is called a decorative. I know it's decorative, but it's a decorative form of flower. The cactus dahlias have spikier petals. The pom-pom dahlias, tight bunches of little rosette flowers. As you can guess from this fleshy foliage and the fleshy succulent stems, the dahlia is a greedy plant. Don't give it poor dry earth. Give it ground that has almost got the texture of fruit cake. I love a good dahlia. It really does deserve to be number 1 in my list of favourite late summer bloomers. So what would be in your top 5 late summer flowers? Comment below, let me know. Gardening is my passion, and I want to share it with you. So subscribe now, and let's get gardening together.